Hey guys, it's Jake from Pop Culture today. We're gonna keep it cool and chill. We're just gonna go around the table. Today we have Jalen.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. I'm
We have
I'm only here for a quota. Gotta fill that my diversity quota, so that's why I'm here.
yeah, that's lovely. Next around the table we have Miguel.
He just left. He left.
Uh,
Wait,
and Miguel is gone. And ending it off we have me. This is Jake.
no one
Pop
cares.
Culture Day.
No one cares.
This is podcast number 17. We recorded this on Friday, May 1st of 2020.
What are you
Uh,
doing?
and we'll just get right into this. Actually, first let's talk about how we're all doing. Let's start with you, Jalen. How are you? How are you?
Me personally, I am doing splendid, just outstanding. Um,
Lovely, lovely.
oh, is that all? Is that all you want to hear?
No. I'm just making. Yeah. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
Keep talking.
Yeah, so tonight I actually had ROTC Awards banquet on Zoom, but I totally dished that for this. I really, decided that this was way more important, and so I'm here, and I'm glad to be here. As always, I'm glad to bring you guys awesome content, and we're gonna have a lot of cool discussions tonight. So, yeah.
Wow. That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Miguel, how are you doing in these trying times?
I'm doing fine. I've been going outside and going on runs and stuff, trying to stay in shape.
Oh,
hmm
me too. Me too.
That's good.
How those grades looking, bud?
All A except for college algebra.
Heck yeah, fam.
Oh, what's happened with college algebra?
It's a C.
Why are you talking like this?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to keep it a cool, chill podcast. I don't want anyone getting overhyped.
Okay. Why
Want to make
not?
sure everyone's doesn't get their blood pressure too high or they die. Okay.
Okay.
Moving on to me. It's been grand. It's been grand. Uh, like I said, I've been going on walks. Been playing a little bit of video games. Started playing a little bit of Last of Us. Uh, it's very fun. Very fun. Modern Warfare is dumb, but we're going with that. Uh, First topic of the day. Not one of the topics that we posted about, but I want to get into it. A game came out called Modern Warfare a while ago. You may know of it.
No.
And to play the campaign, as you may know, you have to download the base game. As you may know, it's very simple. You buy the game, or if you have someone you can share play, game share, I should say, and you just download a base game,
hmm
easy peasy, play the game, campaign, all you need. However, for Modern Warfare, you need to download the base game,
hmm
then download a campaign pack 1 and a campaign pack 2. And that's a little bit extra, but you know, sacrifices must be made. I understand that. Big game. But however, once you actually start the game, you would think that that's it. That your campaign packs are downloaded. They're called campaign packs, so you think that's all you need. However, you have to make an Activision account, uh, sign up with them, just to download another pack called a data compatibility pack.
Well, to be fair, that pack came out like on Tuesday, I think.
No, doesn't mean anything to me. You have to download that pack as well, just to play the campaign. Now, if those who were keeping track at home, that's 3 different packs you have to download, plus the base game. Now, I don't know if any of you like having your time wasted, but not me. And so far, this has been a waste of time just to play a campaign.
Would you?
Now, Jalen, your rebuttal.
Would you believe me? Would you believe me if I told you this was all worth it? All, all,
I
all of
It would
this,
be a stretch of the imagination, sir. A
all
stretch of the imagination.
all of this trouble to play this amazing campaign. Would you believe me if this was all worth it?
I, with all things, I would like it to be known that uh, I downloaded every single Assassin's Creed game to two of consoles I have, uh, just to play those games. Not one time did I have to download 3 different packs just to play the campaign. So I hope it's worth it, because if it's not,
I
there
think
will be a reckoning.
I think it will be worth it. I really do. I think the Modern Warfare campaign. I don't. Miguel, have you played it?
Huh?
Have you played the Modern Warfare campaign?
No, I haven't.
Dang man. But regardless,
Well, unless you
amazing,
got the time, I wouldn't suggest it.
amazing campaign. I really do think you enjoy it. Um,
Well, uh, um, I might go a bit off topic too right now, but let's kind of talk about some of the, you the deals that are going on with PlayStation. If some of y'all want to go and buy some games, they have a big in Japan sale and also PlayStation hits. And so with you those, you can find games Injustice 2,
mhm.
$6,
Wait,
Uncharted
what?
Lost Legacy, $20, Watch Dogs, the
Injustice
first
2
one.
is $6?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
God of War,
Very interesting.
$20. And stuff like that.
That is an awesome deal. I currently have Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition in my cart right now because that's for the big in Japan sale. And that's on sale for
Yeah.
$17, I think.
Jalen, I'm re-downloading Injustice 2 to your console right now.
My PlayStation is off.
No, it's not. I'm turning it on via the Wi-Fi.
But yeah, no, that's awesome. I didn't even know that there was another sale out.
Yeah, they've been cracking down with the sales.
Yeah, because everyone's home, man.
Yeah, what else are you supposed to do?
Is there any games you
But,
think you'd get?
huh?
Are there any games you're trying to get?
I actually bought some games. This Vita game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's on the PlayStation 4, but it's ported from the Vita. It's called Danganronpa, and it's like you know a bundle, and it comes with the first and second game. And I've been hearing a lot about it. Like it was one of those games that people have been like, "Oh, this is a must play for the Vita." I just didn't get a chance. And when I tell you, the story actually kind of caught me. Yeah, I am enjoying it
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you've been playing like a whole bunch of niche games, and that's awesome, dude. I really, that's awesome. I really think that, this is the perfect time to really, broaden your horizon a little bit and see like different things you might enjoy liking. Star Wars for Life actually left a comment saying a lot of work just for the campaign. Is it the same for the multiplayer? As for the multiplayer, you also have whenever you download Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you have 2 multiplayer packs, I believe. 2 multiplayer packs you have to download in order to actually play the multiplayer. So if you have one downloaded, it won't let you play. You have to download both of them. The entire game with everything installed is like 190 gigs, dude. It's really big.
So again, for those keeping track at home, that is 5 different downloads.
If you want
base game and then
if you
4
want,
packs.
if you want to download everything, I think there's 2 campaign packs, 2 multiplayer packs, the new data pack, the 2 Spec Ops packs,
Special Ops,
and then Survival pack.
Now, I failed geometry the first time around, but if I'm not mistaken, that's 2 mini packs. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get Injustice for the PlayStation. Jalen, you were also going to get Injustice for the PlayStation.
Yes,
and
sir.
we are going to fight.
Yes, sir. But speaking of big games, Last of Us Part 2, a lot of stuff came out about that game this week.
And here's all the spoilers.
No, we're not. No. Listen, we are not going to talk about the spoilers. I unfortunately knows pretty much everything that happens in that game, but I'm so super excited for it. I'm not, on the hate bandwagon quite yet.
I am.
A lot of things came out for that game. So firstly, it's going to be 2 disc. It got a new release date of June 19th. So it took Ghost of Tsushima's date, and Ghost of Tsushima got pushed back to July. These are PlayStation exclusives, mind you. And a lot of
Ghost of Sushi is a PlayStation exclusive.
Yep, it's made by Sucker Punch, same guys that made Infamous.
Whoa! I didn't know that. I thought it was
Mm-mm.
for like everybody.
Nope, Xbox doesn't deserve
Very interesting. You heard it here first. Breaking news.
it. Nope.
Ghost of Tashi.
Oh my god. Shut up.
Tashi.
Tishina.
Tashi.
Anyway, shut up, Jake. Anyway, so earlier this week, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday night, somebody leaked
Once
a
told
lot.
me.
Shut up. Somebody want. Dang it!
Yeah, you almost said it.
Somebody leaked not. I don't want to say the entire, but a good portion of the Last of Us Part 2 campaign and like the story details. And Tuesday night, everyone was like, all the news sources said that it was a disgruntled employee who was tired of Naughty Dog, because a lot of rumors came out that Naughty Dog was overworking their employee staff and not paying them enough. And so this person supposedly leaked the story and a lot of gameplay and cutscenes and just a lot of text about the game online, and it was all over the place, dude. It was a mad show. And so people were freaking out and stuff. People were pissed off at the person that leaked it. People were pissed off at Sony and Naughty Dog. People are sending hate over to Neil Druckmann, and it's really, really insane right now. Today, it came out that Sony and Naughty Dog figured out or it was actually a few people. It was individuals who leaked it, and they also had no affiliation with Sony or Naughty Dog. They didn't work on the game at all. And at this point, people are like, do we trust Sony and Naughty Dog, or are they trying to cover up for something? Regardless of people that did leak this information will be facing jail time, and that is just insane, dude. Regardless, even if it was a disgruntled employee and they were just pissed off and decided to leak it because they weren't getting paid a lot, that's just insane, dude. The fact that
what do you get out of that if you're not a disgruntled employee? What do you get out of that?
Yeah.
All you did was there's no maybe there was for them if it wasn't, but from what I'm trying to see is a point of view of besides just being annoying, what does that get you?
Hate.
Well, I think
suffering.
I think at this point they just wanted to expose a dumb story, and a lot of people are on the hate bandwagon. Like I said a moment ago, they're like, "Oh, this whoever leaked this saved me $60 and stuff like that." Like, people, I'm not going to get into the story details because I wouldn't want to spoil it for me, so I'm not going to spoil it for anyone else. However, there is transgender characters, there is gay characters, and people think that because these type of people are included in the game that this is just liberal propaganda, and people are like, oh well, you're bringing these characters to the forefront of the story, you are not focusing on the important things, you're focusing on this, and I'm able to save $60 now. And I think that's just a totally closed mindset.
Well, all I'm saying is it's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
What are you really gonna if someone adds that into something, what do you get mad about it? Like, people walk around us. Some of them might be some might be transgender, gay, straight, but just get over it. That's just how society is. Until till those people can just get a grasp on that, then nothing.
Yeah,
it's just not gonna change from there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like having transgender, gay, and stuff like that, especially for something, and I've only been playing Last of Us for, very recently, but The Last of Us is what I've seen has done a very good job of putting you in a world that would definitely be like that during an apocalypse setting.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like if this is what it would be like in an apocalypse.
Yeah, 100%.
And honestly, if you have transgender, gay people, just people of the minority like that, then it kind of makes it more realistic for the player.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. That's what I'm getting at. Is it makes it even more realistic. That there would be a person like that, because in The Last of Us, you are meeting not real people, but you're meeting these these people that are just surviving,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Those would just be other people surviving. It's like,
Yeah.
And all I'm gonna say is this is not the first time that Naughty Dog has done this. The last as well,
Mm-hmm.
like including a gay or transgender person. This is not the first time they did it. So why should everyone be? I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
yeah,
To answer Elite's question in the chat, I know about the leaks. I know about everything that was leaked. I've been spoiled. Just the way I was spoiled, I was reading a post unrelated to The Last of Us. It was still a Sony related post, unrelated to The Last of Us, and it was just in the comments right there. So if you don't want to get spoiled, do not just tread carefully on the internet, my friends. Seriously.
Treat it like it's Infinity War.
Really, yes. But dude, I I love The Last of Us so much, man, and so many people are just absolutely just saying, "Oh, I saved $60 and stuff like that." I feel like if reading a post like that was the deciding factor if you will like this game or not, then you're not a Last of Us fan.
Yeah.
mm. Yeah. I mean, I can't talk too much. Like, honestly, I've only played a little bit of it, but like, I don't see a problem. I
Mm-hmm.
like it. It doesn't. It's not like they're being gays or they're being transgender people or anything like that. It's not affecting gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Exactly.
So I don't know. It just seems weird to be like, especially now. You know, like
Mhm.
people complained about this during 2018 and stuff when they started having more of like a PC culture kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and people complain then. But like, I feel like now it's just like,
Yeah.
what
But
what's your goal here now?
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's your goal at this point?
what I'm gonna say here is this: like, if you still don't accept people like that in the world, then that shows a lot of what kind of person you are. You
Yeah,
still live in the past. Well, you hate people for what they are, and, and yeah, you might not agree with it, but you just gotta accept the fact that that's what they chose to do to themselves. And you know, as long as you don't, as long as they don't like bother you with it, then you should be fine. It's not
yeah,
like they're trying to force something like it's
Yeah.
related to you.
And that's the at the end of the day, that's the only thing I don't want this game to do is act like it's trying to push an agenda on you. I'm 100% all
yeah,
for, I don't care what religion, race, creed, just
yeah.
anything.
Just looking for a good story, man.
Exactly. That is what made The Last of Us 1 just one of the best games in my opinion that I've ever played. Is the story is amazing. It doesn't, there's gay characters in The Last of Us, the first game. And
Hmm.
no one would probably even know that because it's not like they shoved the fact that this person was gay down your throat. No one would even know that. There's actually 3 gay people in the first game.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They
Yeah,
don't tell you about
like
it. You have to uncover that
And
yourself.
no one knew because at the end of the day they were just another person trying to survive the zombie
yeah.
apocalypse.
And I feel like that's how it kind of should be. It's like it shouldn't be like painted on their chest saying I'm the transgender character or I'm the gay character.
Mhm.
It should just be another character that maybe you find out they are, maybe you didn't. It's not like that's gonna change the ending of the game
Mhm.
if that person was gay or not. It's not gonna be like it's like, oh, you found the secret ending where you found out he was gay. Nothing will change.
Mhm.
There's not gonna be a different,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
legit not like you're playing as Ellie. Next thing you know, Ellie turns into like Joel 2, and she's a man or something like. Not that's not gonna
Yeah,
happen within the
Yeah.
game. That would be stupid.
yeah. Yeah. I
Me,
like that's
me
all I can think
personally,
of.
me personally, dude, I'm super excited for this game. I'm even more excited after the leaks came out. Regardless, if you're excited for this game, try to avoid the leaks. If you do encounter the leaks, like at least for me, if you encounter the leaks, you might as well just read everything, dude. Because after reading everything, it just opened my eyes to the possibilities of this franchise, and I, for one, cannot wait for this game. The thing is, what happened? This game didn't deserve to get leaked. all these people that worked hard on this game, if it was a disgruntled employee or not, there are people that worked hard on this game. There are people that tried keeping this under wraps and wanted this to be an event, you know, for people playing this game. And it's unfortunate that this game, you know, a lot of things that people were looking forward to, people experiencing themselves, they won't be able to experience themselves anymore. You know, it's right there, and the same experience won't be there. However, I believe because the leaks only show a very small portion of the game. Granted, the events that happen in the leaks are very big. This game is still going to be about 20 or 30 hours long. There's so much. The journey to get, you know, the end result is why I'm playing this game and why I'm super excited about it. It's all about the journey, and I cannot wait to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like that should be how it, you know, it kind of is. It's like if you like a, you know, if you like a franchise enough, it shouldn't really matter that you already know what's gonna happen. Mainly because like it's like you want to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like just because you read the leaks doesn't mean you've played the game.
Exactly.
And that's why I feel like, you know, games are like. For me, it goes like books, movies, games, because games just have like that way of like the visuals of storytelling with the interactiveness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like gaming is like one of the best ways of storytelling.
I mean, easily, because
you know?
you're it's way easier to immerse you in that world because you're like you said, you're interacting with it rather than just reading a page or watching a movie. You're actually you're like, in a way, you're actually in that world.
Yeah.
So,
you're able to control the, you know, players' movements and stuff, which makes everything, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. And you know, dude, I just it really sucks seeing all the hate people are getting about this. You know, like I said, the director of this game is getting so much hate. The Sony's getting hate. Naughty Dog as a whole is getting hate. The person that leaked this game, which I think he or she deserves to get the hate, they're getting hate.
Oh yeah, they're the one person that really does deserve the hate.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's just like all this was so just avoidable. You know, I don't work at Naughty Dog, so I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know why they leaked it, who leaked it. But regardless, the fact of the matter is people worked hard on this game, and that's all that really matters at this point, dude. This isn't how the game was supposed to be revealed, you know? So
yeah, especially when it was supposed to actually come out like this. Got pushed back for just what's going on in the world. Which sucks, but you know, what can we really do about it? But that doesn't mean we should go and ruin everyone's excitement.
Yeah.
100%, man. So yeah, that's really it on The Last of Us. I don't want to say any spoilers. If I think if we see any spoilers in the chat, we're gonna ban you in the chat. Because no one deserves to get leaked or ruined for them unless they want it ruined for them. So I think that's another precaution we're going to take. But moving on to other video game news, Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft revealed, I think it was Wednesday, they revealed Assassin's Creed Valhalla through an 8-hour stream where some dude they're making art for the game.
No, wasn't it Tuesday and then Wednesday was the reveal?
What's the day? Friday?
It was something. I just remember seeing the trailer.
There was an 8-hour. All I know, there was an 8-hour stream. Some dude doing
Tuesday
art.
There was an 8-hour stream of the cover art for the game, and then Wednesday they revealed the world premiere cinematic trailer.
They look good
for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it does look. The cinematic looks nice.
All right, so Jake, you're an Assassin's Creed fan. I am.
I definitely am.
You're an enthusiast. I'm getting into the franchise a little bit. I played. I'm almost done with. I'm almost done with 3. I played Revelations. Didn't like it. I played Black Flag. Didn't really get into it. I have a couple other games to play now. But you're the Assassin's Creed nerd here. What do you think about this? What's your opinion on this game?
So what I found with this is that I'm usually in the minority of thinking on Assassin's Creed stuff. But my thing about it is, For the timeline here now that we're looking at, there was Origins, which was set in ancient Egypt, which took place, which was a prequel before all the Assassin's Creed games before it.
Mm-hmm.
Then, which it continued the modern day timeline. It only went back in time for the Animus stuff.
Mhm.
Then they made Odyssey, which is a prequel to that, going back to ancient Greece, which takes place way, way before all that. But then this one, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which takes place during the 9th century, will actually be after Origins and Odyssey. So it's kind of weird that they're kind of flipping back and forth between this.
So Origins is kind of in the middle, and then Odyssey is before. And
Yeah.
Okay.
Timeline wise, it would be Odyssey, Origins, Valhalla.
Got it.
Kind of angry that they didn't find something that started with an O, but it's fine.
Odin.
I know. I was thinking like they could have done like Odin's Blade or something like that. I don't know. It would have been cool. But just from the trailer, we see cool stuff like we see the Vikings, and there's that whole thing of the looks like the main antagonist is supposed to be King Alfred,
Mm-hmm.
who is an actual king, the King of Wessex, if I remember, who is talking about how the Vikings are these barbaric, savages who kill without mercy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch the trailer and you kind of hear the Vikings are doing the exact opposite of what he's saying, basically. Like when he says they kill without thinking, that's the exact time during the trailer that while they're raiding this place, they see a mother and a daughter, and he says, "Don't kill them, just keep going." So there's kind of like they're kind of showing the historical inaccuracies of what people thought about Vikings, which was true. Not all Vikings were just murdering psychopaths. But I mean, I can't get too excited about this game, to be honest. For me,
How's that?
It's going in a weird direction that the Assassin's Creed games have been going, where it's been this RPG element to this game that I've just not been a huge fan of. Because the whole point of the whole point for those who like Assassin's Creed, the Animus, and if you've ever seen the Oscar-winning movie Assassin's Creed, the movie,
didn't win any Oscars.
Did not win any awards. Currently has an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know that there's a thing called the Animus, where you use genetic memories, basically memories of your ancestors that's stored in your DNA, and through that you can relive memories of your ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
This is reliving memories that actually happened, or at least in the Assassin's Creed universe, actually happened. Like what happened was fact. However, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they bring up things like different endings and choices in conversation and stuff like that, which kind of defeats the purpose
of like a definitive ending.
Of a definitive ending and a definitive canon, I would say. Mainly because, like I said, the Animus is showing you what actually happened, the facts. It's not showing you, a muddled history, like, say, what it would be like if you read a historical document. That can be very one-sided.
Yeah, because you're not going to see a book that says Abraham Lincoln said this, or this. Which one did he say?
Yeah. Yeah. Things like that. Yeah, that's very, very true. It's like, but with historical documents, you have a perspective on things. Where it's like, this was written by the winner, or this was written by the loser. With the Animus, you're only seeing it for what actually happened. When you start bringing stuff in where it's like different endings and stuff, you're ruining a canon timeline. So if someone was to say, Cassandra did this when she was in Athens, that could not be true. Because maybe just in your game, that's what it was. But in other people's games, they could say, well, Alexios did this in Athens. So it kind of ruins that canon of what actually happened. And it does, kind of mess up, like, how the timeline goes in places. So, and I'm not a huge fan of stuff like that. like I like games that are meant to be like that, like butterfly effect games, like
Hmm.
Detroit Become Human or Until Dawn, or things like that. I like those games, but with Assassin's Creed, it's something that you can't really do when your whole game is based on historical fact.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in this game, things we know about it, like things that have been confirmed, uh, is like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there will be two uh, gender options to choose from. You can either be the guy version named Eivor or the girl version named Eivor, because they haven't came up with a girl version. I think that's actually going to be the name for either of them. Um, but something weird that came out today was they said that both player options would be canon, which is kind of weird because I don't see how it can be.
Mm.
You know, because if you choose a character at the beginning of the game and you don't choose the other one, it's going to be weird to say that the other one is also canon if you don't see them the entire game. But they said they come up with a trick and they won't spoil how they got away with it or something like that. It was a weird tweet, but uh, we've seen that the coveted hidden blade is back. It's something that was missing in Odyssey. There was no hidden blade that was used by the assassins. Uh, so that's good to see back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I yeah, I don't know. There's been some stuff that's been confirmed, like you can build your you can there's gonna be a settlement building
Mm.
uh aspect of the game where you go on like Viking raids to find resources, and that can increase your settlement. Um, which is cool, I guess. Uh, what else? There's supposed to be something big. Apparently, is there's a tattoo parlor where you
Mm.
can kind of customize your character a bit and give them like the Viking runic tattoos kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, trying to think if there's anything else. Naval combat's back with the boats and stuff that we've seen, and basically now every Assassin's Creed game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I liked the naval combat back in Black Flag, AC3, Rogue, and it was cool to see again back in Origins. But now I'm just feeling like they're just gonna keep water around basically forever, just so they can do boating stuff because it's back in this new game. But I mean, there's only it's just the same stuff because there's only so much you can do with shoot arrows at a boat. I mean, that's all it is. I did like it, but it was just like, eh. By now, it's just been kind of played through. But like I said, I can't get too excited about the game. Uh, you know, it's weird having a game called Assassin's Creed when assassins are known for being the stealthy, characters. And then they started a hashtag going around called hashtag Fight Like a Viking, which isn't really a very assassin thing. Um, being kind of a history nerd, uh, in Viking culture, it was actually dishonorable to fight from the shadows and not meet a person in battle.
Mm.
So that's kind of a weird thing to.
You should work at
If you're gonna have a,
Ubisoft.
yeah, I would just leak the game.
You get pissed off
Um,
because the assassins are fighting like Vikings and just leak it.
yeah. Yeah, that was the trailer was cool. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I love the Assassin's Creed trailers. They have some of the coolest cinematic trailers. I don't know if you ever like just watch them. They're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then that this one's you know nothing different, but I did go back after I watched this one. I watched the first Assassin's Creed trailer, and in the first Assassin's Creed trailer, you see Altair kind of stalking the environment, seeing exit points, entry points. He goes up, he kills his target, and then you see him running, and then he perfectly times it for when the church lets out, and he blends in with all the people that are exiting church. And it's the guards are looking for him, and then it's like Assassin's Creed coming 2007 or whatever. And
Mm.
I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I watched this one again, and it's just an open battlefield of people fighting and heads getting lobbed off and throwing axes, and it just it doesn't.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I don't
It,
want to speculate too much, but I mean, it just doesn't look like a very Assassin's Creed game, you
what
know?
I think it's gonna be this though. What if they kind of find a like if they this is like their first game or something. What if they were to make like spin-off games and instead of Assassin's Creed they made like another series for their spin-off games?
Well, that's
How
what
would
these
you
are. These are supposed to be the spin-off games.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's
saying
my
like using a
okay. See, I actually was thinking about this when I was talking to Matt, one of the people on PlayStation we talked to. Uh, was if they had just made a game called Ubisoft Presents Odyssey, I feel like I would have liked Assassin's Creed Odyssey a lot better
hmm
because it's not an Assassin's Creed game. There's no assassins. I mean, not until a DLC that's all about this one guy, but it's like you don't even really talk to him. It's a kind of crappy DLC to be honest.
yeah, it's
Um,
kind of like Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker for me. If that movie was called like laser sword fights, I would have liked it a lot more than a Star Wars movie.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I guess. I mean, honestly, it's just like one of those things that people. I know my I can't remember. I think it's my stepbrother. He hates it when I say it was a good movie. It just wasn't a good blank movie. Like it was a good movie. It just wasn't a good Star Wars movie or something like that.
hmm
Um, because yeah, the movie was good. I would have loved it
Yeah,
if it didn't say Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
the conclusion to
It,
the 9-film saga.
yeah, yeah. But like with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's an okay game. I
hmm
wouldn't say it's a great game because honestly, I didn't like the story itself. It was kind of bland to me.
Mhm.
Um, uh, but if it was just called, Ubisoft Presents Odyssey, I would have been fine with it. I mean, you could have done a whole thing about just magic weapons because that's all the stuff is. It's like tons of just different weapons they don't give any explanation for, and that's probably something I really don't like.
hmm
Is that they don't give an explanation because like you'll find objects that do like fire damage or what was it? Poison damage, things like that that are very RPG element, but they don't explain, you know,
Mm.
why these have. You could just say, oh, these are poison tipped or something like that, but they just go, no, these are just poison damage weapons. It was like the same thing with in Origins, where it was like, oh, these do poison damage, oh, these do fire damage, and if your sword had fire damage, it would actually be a sword on fire. And I was like, what? Am I playing Skyrim right now? Like, it just doesn't.
Yeah, I
You know,
guess that's one thing I do like about Assassin's Creed, and hearing you talk about these is kind of offsetting, I guess. I like how Assassin's Creed feels grounded and realistic to a certain extent, I
yeah,
guess. Granted, it is it's fictional in a real world, right?
yeah.
A lot of the events are, they actually did happen. So,
It's historical fiction. That's
yeah.
all it is.
And,
But
hearing all
yeah.
this, it sounds like a sci-fi game.
Yeah, that's well, honestly, it kind of is because what they focused on in these spin-off ones, except for Origins, which honestly I was okay with Origins. They had that RPG element that I wasn't, but that was probably my only complaint with it was the RPG element of it.
hmm
Mhm.
If Origins didn't have that RPG element, I would have. It would have been just like any other Assassin's Creed game. It was Odyssey that they just. It was nothing like any other Assassin's Creed game, and I don't mean that in a good way. It's just it's not a game for me that I really enjoyed. It is way more feels like sci-fi because they focus a lot on the precursors, the ones who came before all that,
Mhm.
and the ancient artifacts. Uh, which they focused on those before, but to a lesser extent, where they're like, oh, I'm only after this one artifact, or I'm only after this one thing because we're trying to keep it away from the Templars. And this one is just like they can do whatever they want with them.
hmm
Uh, and with Valhalla, I mean, uh, I don't know much. They've only released the premiere trailer and that one 8-hour live stream. But from what we know, this is supposed to be an assassin apparently because like they show the Assassin's Creed logo, and he has the hidden blade. And this is after Assassin's Creed Origins, so the assassins are out there, or how they're known as the hidden ones. Um, so I mean, this could be an assassin. But also it's also been confirmed that you're not just a Viking, you're the Viking chief. So you're actually in charge of the settlement.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a weird thing because like the whole assassins thing is like,
You're kind of
not
like a
having.
nobody.
Yeah, you're supposed to not be calling attention to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but in this you're just basically the chief, and you're. It was weird when I heard of Assassin's Creed game and they said there's going to be a thing where you can raid villages and have Viking. You can, if I remember, there was something where you could make Vikings, like Viking settlers. What was it? You can make Viking settlers, and then you could like customize them, and you could go on raids with them. But you could also share your Viking settlers, level them up, and share them with other people playing the game. So, like, if I made, Viking, whatever, dude, and level them up, I could give him to you, Jalen, and you could go raiding with him.
Wait, this is
And
multiplayer?
kind of.
Wait, there's a multiplayer aspect to this?
What I've heard, yes. It's not so much multiplayer that I'm going to be in the same game as you,
Mm-hmm.
but my Viking character, I can give him to you to go raiding. But like, no, they haven't really
I don't
done
know, man. I feel like
long
what
time.
from what I played in Assassin's Creed, what works best with this franchise is linearness, I guess, if that's a word. Like just being straightforward and straight to the point, not having a whole lot of variables and aspects, and just I really do think if I were to play the AC games more often, I would definitely prefer the older ones rather than the newer ones. And
I think honestly, I think you would too. Knowing you,
I don't know.
I
think I really am just a pretty simple person. I just like good stories. That's really it. I don't need to be able to, upgrade stuff to level 50 and be able to.
That I gotta say, and that's my main problem I have with Odyssey, is that with the other Assassin's Creed games, there was stuff where it was like, level up skills by getting these skill points or whatever, and you can upgrade your skill tree, and it's like that's one thing. That's one thing to like buy new equipment or upgrade your equipment, things like that. And this, it's like in Odyssey, you have like 3 skill trees, and you get a skill point every whatever, and your max rank is 50, which doesn't let you unlock all the skills, but you can keep leveling up after 50 and then unlock all the skills. And it's like, why even make a level cap? Why not just let the number keep getting higher? But with Valhalla, it seems like there's going to be too much to just do anything with. I mean, because in Odyssey, you have to level up your ship, you're leveling up your gear, you're leveling up your character, you're leveling up your spear thing. In this, it's going to be like you're leveling up your ship, you're leveling up your settlement, you're leveling up your raiding party or whatever, and I feel like it's just gonna be the same thing, but just
it's just too convoluted.
A lot of time wasted.
And I feel like this does play into the fact that, and I want to wrap this topic up because we're pushing 50 minutes, but I feel like this just kind of plays into the fact that gamers now look for more content rather than quality.
Yeah,
I really do feel that has a huge aspect to play into this.
I can agree with that.
But the thing is, I mean, you don't need to make a super flashy game just to make it good. Like I keep going back to The Last of Us, or even Cyberpunk for this matter. Those games are built off of stories and not really a lot of extra things. It's built off necessity and not really wants, I guess. You know, obviously you can
Yeah,
customize your character, but you're not over here trying to, you know, make a robot army to take down other gangs in Cyberpunk. You're just playing the
yeah,
story. So, I don't know. Like I said, I do prefer linear games. So that's just once again me. There obviously is a fan base out here for these type of Assassin's Creed games, and I don't.
definitely. I'm just not one of them.
And you're not the only one because I was reading the comments for the trailer, and people were. I saw quite a few comments saying a lot of the same
Yeah.
gripes you have, and I was like, interesting, you know. So
I honestly like it's may sound dumb, but I get really happy when I see comments like that, and I'm like, I'm just glad I'm not the only one who sees how dumb this is.
yeah, a lot of people were talking about how it's just stupid that the
Because
Vikings.
all you have to look at is the setting,
Hmm.
like that, like a setting of that time period definitely could do a set. Definitely could have assassins. The problem is that you made him a Viking.
Hmm.
It's like you could definitely do a ninth century assassin. That would be awesome. A ninth century assassin sounds awesome. Have him have an assassin brotherhood. You can make it basically just like one. Because you're getting closer to that time period anyway. Ninth century, you're only like 2 centuries off. 200 years, whatever,
Hmm.
from the first game. So you're only like 200 years off from the first game. Have it being evolving more into what Assassin's Creed 1 will be, and have a Assassin's Brotherhood in England. Maybe you're fighting Vikings, maybe you're helping the Vikings, but don't make your character a
A
Viking,
Viking, yeah.
because guess what? Because when I heard about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I thought, wow, an assassin during the you know ancient Greece. That sounds awesome. You could definitely have him working for Sparta, or you could even better have him working for Athens. Even though they lose, it could definitely be a really cool, like, oh, an assassin working for Athens trying to take out these military commanders, whatever. That sounds awesome. But then then I saw what is the tagline for the game, and it's like, uh, you are a Spartan warrior, and I'm like, what? And I
Hmm.
thought there's nothing more or less stealthy than a Spartan warrior. And then I saw the tagline for this game. And it says "Fight like a Viking," and I was like, I guess I'm wrong. There is something, because like at least Spartan warriors knew tactics.
Hmm.
Vikings were just straight out battle. They didn't have tactics. They just had rush onto the field, get angry, and hopefully you kill the thing before it kills you. So I don't see how you're going to be able to, and it's also the moral code of a Viking. During that time was, like I said, you didn't you didn't kill someone from the shadows. You challenged them to a duel. Either you died or they died, and either way, you're making it to Valhalla or whatever. You die in battle.
Hmm.
That's the great thing. If you die sneaking around, or if you sneak around to kill an enemy, you have automatically basically been, cast out of your tribe or your village.
Hmm.
It's just, and again, like I said, history nerd. Assassin's Creed Odyssey filled with historical inaccuracies. Um, Not to say that each game, of course, it is historical fiction, but each game has been rooted in fact.
Hmm.
Like with Assassin's Creed Revelations, or any Assassin's Creed game, I should say, most of them, besides Odyssey that I've seen. Um, the death times when you assassinate someone in the game who are real people, they were actually real people. Their death is around the same time they died in the actual
Hmm.
world.
Hmm.
They made it like that, So if you kill, uh, I'm trying to think of it, one of the Templars in 1136 AD, that's when they died in real life. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there was filled with stuff that just wasn't right, and I was just kind of annoyed because I was like, you guys are just getting even more lazy.
Hmm.
Just because you've made a bigger world doesn't mean that you've made that world right.
Better,
You
yeah.
know. But yeah, we can move on. I've talked about it enough now, I guess.
About half an hour.
Hey man, I could keep going. Like,
Yeah,
if
no,
I'm
I
passionate
mean,
about a topic,
yeah, no,
if I'm passionate about a
I'm
topic and I know about it, I'm gonna talk about it.
100%, dude. Because even I
Y'all hear
learned.
about Star Wars?
No,
No.
Even I learned quite a bit about that. So I'll keep my eyes open. Me personally, I'm way more of a gameplay person than I am a cinematic person. I need to see how the game plays and feels and how it looks and the UI and stuff. And Ubisoft has predominantly
Definitely.
terrible UIs. I'm sorry, just disgusting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what the game looks like. But I've never been a huge RPG person. There's been
Yeah.
like
You're
I
not
like
really gaming.
like really the hardest RPG I guess I really played is maybe Horizon, and
Yeah.
even then that's still a pretty weak RPG. So I mean that's just me though.
Mhm.
But yeah, you looking forward to it,
Yeah.
Miguel?
You an
I
Assassin's Creed fan?
I play Assassin's Creed here and there. I'll probably get it whenever it becomes cheap or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Usually for Assassin's Creed games, I pre-order because I know I'm gonna get it because I do love the Assassin's Creed. Like I think the only games I didn't pre-order were games that like 2 through I guess 2 through Revelations or like 1 through Revelations were the only games I didn't pre-order.
Mhm.
Just because I was like I'm gonna get it anyway. I would like to have it day one basically. Um, I stopped doing that with Odyssey
Mhm.
because I read the tagline and I was like I'm not gonna want to play this. I honestly just. But then I thought it's on sale, and if I'm gonna keep complaining about it, I guess I should play it first.
And
And
you
now that
got
I've played it, I can surely complain about it.
and you got three.
But
You got three with it, so.
it's true. Yeah, it was like 3 and Liberation both remastered.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know if I'll pre-order it. If I do, it's just gonna be the base game. I'm
Mhm.
definitely not gonna do DLCs till
And you see if you
You
like
get
later.
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually for me, I just have that mindset of like when I
Dude,
pre-order a game, I want to get all the stuff for it.
that's what okay, so I used to Miguel would tell you, I used to religiously play COD. I love playing Call of Duty.
You?
Every single oh yes, dude. Every single year I would buy the edition with the most
Yeah.
the everything,
Ubisoft is the worst with like pre-order editions.
So
Did you see how many?
yeah, there was like
I believe there
6.
were 12.
12?
For Odyssey there were like 12.
Oh.
For Xbox there were like 12. There was like the base game, the deluxe, the ultimate, the Medusa, the Spartan, the gods, the Pantheon.
Yeah.
There's like so many different editions of the game.
I used to be that person 100% where I'd buy like the best version of the game.
Yeah. Same.
Just so I'm like, all right, well I don't have to worry about any DLC for, the year or whatever. And ever since I want to say Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I have not bought a full I've not spent over $60 on a game.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you with the season pass for a game like Call of Duty or like Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
It is because they say, "Oh, this is the season pass. You're buying the season pass."
Yeah,
And usually the season pass
Ops
meant you're getting everything.
4.
But then they go like, "Hey, this is season pass 2. This is the second
Yeah.
season."
Yeah.
So now they can just keep doing it. And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not doing
I
this."
have never
No.
spent. The last time I spent over $60 on a game, dude, was probably back in like 2015. I have never went over $60 because I was like, dude,
Have I
I'm
gone
never doing that.
over $60.
What's it
What
called?
have I gone?
I remember
Fallen
for
Order.
like what's it called? They're like, well, you see here to access all the stuff, you legit have to buy a season pass. You can't buy any like the separate. And I was like, well, that's stupid.
Mhm.
Because that's what you find a DLC maps that you want to play. You see the ones that catch your interest, and I don't want to play like all maps.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there should be like separate purchase stuff.
Yeah.
It's not-
They
That's
shouldn't
how
have
it
to
used to be,
force you
man. That's how
buy,
it used to
like,
be.
80. It's how it used to be.
Yeah, man. I
Not
remember.
anymore.
I remember Black Ops 2, man. If I didn't, I obviously own all the map packs, but if I didn't want one, I didn't have to pay for it. You
Yeah.
know. So,
Yeah.
but now
saw-
That's the problem with Ubisoft.
So
Ubisoft has the
Die Rise
worst with.
said, okay, cool. I don't want to play that map.
that's kind of what turned me off of Destiny. It was like,
With season 2, season 3, they're what on like season 15 now.
well, I remember Destiny 1.
played
Whenever the first 2 expansions were fine. I remember like you weren't at a complete disadvantage if you didn't have the first 2 expansions. So I bought it was a bundle with the first 2 House of Wolves and the other one, whatever it was called. And then
Not Taken King. What was it? It was like
it
a
was House of Wolves, and then it was Dark Below,
Dark.
something like that.
Oh,
I think it was called the
yeah.
Dark. This is like 6 years ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
No.
so I remember you wasn't like a complete disadvantage. Then Taken King came out, and it was like if you didn't have Taken King, you couldn't play like 60% of the game. I was like, wow.
Multiplayer, and that's legit what turned me off of Destiny.
I was pissed, dude.
Like, oh, this is fun. I did after that.
I had invested like 60, and then I think the expansion bundle was like 20, $80 into that game, and I couldn't even play it once Taken King came out. I was like, wow, dude. So that's a topic, dude. I would love to talk about that. Microtransactions suck. But
that'd be a good topic.
100%. But we'll save that for next week, hopefully. Let's cover this whole film industry thing real quick. We're pushing an hour here. Miguel, you want to talk? You have worked at a movie theater. You worked at Cinemark.
You've been in movies.
You've been in movies. This man's a star. You want to talk to us about this AMC news that's broke recently?
Oh yeah. So with AMC, they pretty much said, "Hey, yeah, Universal's film, Universal like movies and stuff. Well, screw y'all. We're gonna ban y'all from releasing movies in our theater," which I find that kind of dumb.
Yep. Man. So the whole reasoning for this is because they're releasing their movies digitally now?
Yes.
Okay, so I find this kind of backwards because in a time where theater chains are losing legit every piece of profit they have right now because no one is going to see theaters or no one's going to see movies. Granted, drive-in theaters are kind of prospering right now. However, theater chains like AMC and Cinemark, they are losing a lot of profits because obviously no one's going to go see their movies.
Drive-in theaters.
The thing
I don't understand why, like, AMC or Cinemark hasn't thought about that, like buying some of those drive-in theaters.
Well, they probably don't think they're profitable anymore.
They'll be profitable for them right now.
It's been a while since I've gone to a drive-in.
Yeah, I think the last time I went to a drive-in is to go see Hunger Games, the first one, 2012.
Really, dude? I was way. No, it's been a while.
But
we saw Cars.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is kind of backwards, man. Because I feel like if anything, they really need every single movie. Like when theaters can open up again, they need every movie they can possibly get to premiere at their theaters.
So wait, who did they?
Universal. And next year they have a new Fast and Furious movie coming out. Universal, I think they brought the theaters the most money right before they closed with The Invisible Man.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't seem smart.
So,
like, I mean, when it opens up, they're gonna need movies, basically. Like
every movie. Well, that's what they also said that they're not going to open up, even if like states or the government say that they can. They're not going to open up until movies start coming out. But I mean, if you're banning movies, like, what are you doing? Because they were like, I think AMC came out and said that they're not going to open up until June, whenever Tenet comes out.
Here's what we do. We make a rival movie industry, and we start making cinemas. And we like, hey, Universal, you don't want to go to AMC? You come to us.
Well,
and Universal's
their competitor.
Nah, Universal's going to be like, I like these guys.
And then Universal's gonna buy us out. Universal's gonna make their own theater.
Dang. I didn't see this happening.
Yeah, now we're bankrupt.
God, not again.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't agree with that. It's kind of stupid. And then there's also been a lot of things that like movies themselves are gonna slow down, like production and stuff like that, because of strict laws and rules and regulations as of right now. A lot of people can't be on set to make a movie, so a lot of these movies are being put on hold for ever practically, because you can't really make a movie if no one's there to make it. And dang, man, it really sucks. Like there's a lot of predictions that Hollywood is about to like crash and burn within the next couple years.
I mean, weren't they already close to that before all this happened?
Yeah, I don't know, not Hollywood itself, but movie theaters, like theater chains.
Yeah, like movie theater. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they were close to this before all this happened, so this must be a hit.
Yeah, And that's why you see like a lot of movie theaters nowadays. Like Cinemark has their own like kind of subscription service, where you pay for a membership and you can see X amount of movies if you buy X amount of tickets and whatnot. Same thing with AMC. Like all these theater chains now have these like reward membership benefits and stuff like that because they're trying to get as much money as possible. And you gotta remember, theaters only get the majority of their money from movies. They get majority of it from concessions. So
yeah. So just turn it into a fast food restaurant, bro.
welcome to AMC.
Be like,
I might take your order.
That's
honestly,
pretty much Cinemark right now at the restaurant.
That's what I would do. Be like, just bust out a window over here. Get cars coming through. Be like, hey, what you want? I'll take a
It's like a Big
Coke.
Mac.
Number 9, number 5 large.
Number 9. Actually, dude, would you do that? Like, so made like a movie themed restaurant, which is like, what do you want? It's like, well, I'll take a popcorn and a large Coke.
A diner.
Yeah, but like it's movie themed. They only serve food that you can get at movies. Like popcorn.
You can get like
hot dogs.
You can get pretty much any food at movie theaters now, dude.
Yeah.
You can get
nachos.
I know some movie theaters serve you steak.
We'll sell you a Philly cheesesteak.
What's that one place? There's a place that I went to like once or twice where you could like order food like in the actual place.
Oh, yeah, AMC does that. I think Cinemark does that. Does your Cinemark do that, Miguel?
It was a weird named place. Like, it wasn't like a big chain.
You could go and like order your food, but you have to do that like before the movie.
Yeah.
And then we'll deliver to you and stuff.
Yeah, because I know AMC. I know with like the AMC app because I mainly go to AMC just because it's closer. Nothing against you, Miguel, but
you're good.
I mainly go to
also,
AMC.
We don't like you.
We don't like you. I mainly go to AMC, and I can just pull out my phone, order the stuff, and they'll bring it in. I'm like, hey, hot dogs.
I remember we got tiny like tiny cheeseburgers. They're like sliders. They're like tiny cheeseburgers.
Man, I could go for some White Castle right now.
I was like, dude, I don't know how I remember that. I was like 6. I just remember like being in a movie, being like, "Wow, this place is really fancy." And then we ordered like a tiny cheeseburger, and I was like, "Damn, these are some tiny cheeseburgers."
Yeah,
good times.
But I don't know, man. Realistically, these theaters need every single penny they can get whenever they open back up. Otherwise, they're gonna crash and burn. So, AMC is saying that they're not gonna let Universal in just because they're premiering a lot of their movies digitally. Which, okay, and here's another topic for discussion. Digital releases are the way to go. It's the future. I'm sorry. No one is... Dude, hear me out.
No, I agree with you. I don't understand how they can single out Universal, though, because, like, Disney's doing the same thing, aren't they?
Disney is. They put Disney. Onward on there.
Yeah, I was going to say Disney Plus Onward. I mean, I don't...
The thing is...
Skywalker would have been out of theaters already, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, Trolls World Tour came out, right? It came out in March. I never even heard of this movie. Supposedly, this is a sequel. I did not care about this. It's a
sequel to the movie Trolls that was god awful. I watched
it. Got pretty decent reviews because I actually looked at the reviews and whatnot.
Really?
After
because it was god awful.
regardless, Trolls World Tour, the sequel, it pulled in 3 times as much money through digital sales than the first movie pulled in 1 week.
Do you want to know my theory about that? It's because going to the movies is freaking expensive.
Exactly. Yeah. So here's a dilemma theaters are facing right now. These producing companies, Universal, Fox, Disney, whatever the case may be, they can release their movies digitally, and it costs somebody. Let's say you have a family of 5. If that movie is on Vudu per se, $20 to either rent or buy. It doesn't matter because $20. Let's just say a fat $20 to rent the movie. If you're spending nothing but $20 to rent the movie, and let's say I don't know $5 for some popcorn, which a box of popcorn will give you, let's say 10 packs.
You're definitely spending less.
A lot less. If you were to go to the theater and spend money for 5 people to go see a movie, you're easily spending what? $40 just for the tickets alone?
Yeah. Well, remember when we went to see Rise of Skywalker?
Our tickets by themselves were what, $120? And I would love to see if everyone combined their food bill. I would love to see what the total would have actually been.
Oh, dude, you should have seen mine by itself, bro. I got the popcorn thing and a drink, but then the popcorn thing was it was like the collector's popcorn bin. I didn't even look at what the price was till I got home. Dude, the combined total of just like the popcorn, I think some like candy and a drink. I think it was like a large water. It was like $30. So what I gave you 15 for the ticket plus the 30. So I was at 45 just going there.
It's ridiculous. And so, theaters need to realize that it's so much more convenient for people just to sit at home, buy a movie, and save like $20, instead of just not only spending money on the food and the ticket, but also gas. Get into the theater itself. There's so many more variables there, and theaters are really at a like they're at the disadvantage right now because digital storefronts are just the way to go. It's the future. So, I mean,
it's also way more convenient. That's the main thing that I usually find it boils down to is just convenience of like, yes, you could go to the theater, which, to be honest,
I love the theater experience.
Sometimes theater experience can be really fun. Going there, sitting down, big screen, popcorn. That's great.
It definitely wouldn't have been the same if we all came to my house dressed up as Star Wars characters and watched The Rise of Skywalker. Like going to the theater, it was. I love the theater going experience.
Yeah. Also, again, if you just stay at home, you don't get to experience the other people. And I guess it's not for every movie. I mean, for Star Wars, maybe a Marvel movie or something like that, you see people dressed up
and cheering.
You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that for Trolls Worldwide or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like for us, we saw other people dressed up.
Mm-hmm. And you got to interact with them. It was awesome,
Yeah, and it was cool to talk to and all that thing. You're waiting for the movie, so you're talking, you're having fun, and you wouldn't have that when you stay home.
Mm-hmm.
However, again, it is like I could go to the movies, pay $45, or I could stay here, make some mac and cheese, and watch Trolls World Tour. It's like, it's just way cheaper, more convenient. I don't have to get out of the house, especially if there's a Crayola virus going around. I'm like,
100%. So yeah, man, I mean, the theater chains as a whole, not even just AMC, but even Cinemark, Regal, no matter where you go, they're all at disadvantages right now just because of digital storefronts, and it is what it is.
So our advice: get a bowl of mac and cheese
and
watch Trolls.
It's good for the environment. You're saving the turtles,
and we're saving the turtles because we're not killing straws.
And more electricity for everybody else.
How much electricity does a movie theater?
A lot.
Like, what's the electricity bill on a movie theater, bro?
It has to be insane, dude.
Like $3?
$3?
Four?
Yeah, but
okay, we need to end this. We're already 18,000 hours over.
But yeah, so that concludes the podcast, I guess, for this week. Do I really want to continue our talk about microtransactions? Because
that could be a whole podcast in itself.
I would love it, dude. I have a lot of words about wasting your money on something. All those V-Bucks you guys bought, you should be ashamed.
Oh wait, did I? I think I actually might have spent money on like stuff for Fortnite once as a joke.
All right, well, we're gonna end it here and humiliate Jake behind the scenes.
There was like it was called something stupid. It was like the Fortnite something pack or something like that. And me and someone else were playing, and he was like, "God, I can't believe people who spend their money on this stuff." So I spent like $10 on it. Well, this has been Jake from Pop Culture Today. Thank you for watching. This has also been Jalen.
Well, you're speaking for me?
Yes.
This has been Jalen from Pop Culture Today. Thank you for watching.
And this has been Miguel.
He left. He just dipped.
Oh. This has been podcast number...
Oh, welcome back,
19.
Miguel. 17.
Number 19?
17.
This
17
was
weeks
recorded
strong,
on
bro.
May 1st, Friday, 2020.
Shut up. Why are you
Thank
talking
you for
like that?
watching, and we will see you guys on the Battlefront.
Right?
Oh, we need to talk about Battlefront!
No.
We should have talked about that! You know
Well,
what? We're going for another 18 minutes. Here's something about Battlefront.